Look at the light fixture in the background. That's a pretty interesting light fixture. The water fountain that requires all this. I mean, it's just stupid. But Semitism equals supremacy. Semitism is policy or predisposition favorable to Jays. If you break that down, that's supremacy. Policy, rules, regulations, policy, or predisposition, how you go into something. If you go into the school year with a predisposition for success, you do a lot better than if you go into it, I hate that. But even more so, if you go into a movie, if I tell you we're going to go see Halloween 59, you're going to go into it with the predisposition that you're going to see a scary murder movie. It's scary. Yeah. And if it turned out to be a musical cartoon comedy, you'd be like, right, your predisposition would be completely shattered. Like, you'd be pissed. So it's how you go into something is your predisposition. And when the predisposition, along with all the policies and rules and regulations and all that, is favorable to any one group, that's an issue, guys. There's a problem there. Why would anybody have policy or predisposition favorable to them? Why should anybody? Give me a good reason. Especially these pieces of shit. These are the worst people in the fucking world. And you know it because, there's not this huge, like, there's supposedly a gays for Trump group out there. You want to talk about extreme versus extreme, like this is just, those things don't go together. Where are all the Jays against genocide groups out there? Where are all of the Hollywood Jays, music industry Jays, coming out condemning horrible fucking genocide? Where is it? If there's not a conspiracy, are we to believe that just all of them, they all believe that it's not what it is. We don't really know what's going on. We're all just, it's ignorant. We're just all so ignorant. Don't be ignorant. Belch. Well, looks like we're just gonna be shut down today. I'm very proud of my children. I think between my wife and I, we've raised some really pretty good kids. They have their issues like anybody else does, but they don't have a lot of the same issues that plague so many other people. And they're definitely better equipped than your average, like, religious Christian nutbag who has a hard time disseminating reality. I feel bad for your children, how you're growing them up. How you're growing them up, says this super smart person. This person said, I feel bad for your children, how you're growing them up. Good. Yeah, we should let them be around people like you, who are clearly pedophile genocide supporters who can't even speak basic English. You mean raising them? Growing them up? I don't think I've ever heard anybody say that before. Talk about fucking stupid. And I appreciate the example, because like I always say, like, it's either this or that. You're either somebody who knows that, raising them is the proper term, or somebody who says growing them up. Fuck you, you ugly, dumb fucking piece of shit, pedophile supporting piece of shit. How's that for my language? Fuck everything you stand for and everything you represent, you disgusting piece of shit. If you were here, I'd spit in your fucking face. And you do nothing. You do nothing. First of all, because I'm way bigger than you think I am. Can you imagine how many of these people would have that realization? They don't understand. They'd be like, "Excuse me, sir, is your son here?" Yeah. No need for for the language. Shows how small brained you are. Shows your intellect. You'd be in jail. Shows your intellect. You'd be in jail for what? Would a Tesla Cybertruck? Blah 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 blah. These are the same people who believe the Holocaust narrative as they're told. And it's because they just don't know shit. I mean, seriously. How do you know about Project Paperclip and think everything's like hunky-dory? Like, you still buy the narrative you're given. For threatening to spit on me, no, I wouldn't. You go ahead and you call whatever police you want, and you tell them that the guy I stalk on his YouTube page said if I was at his house, he'd spit in my face. You go ahead and tell them, see what they do. And see, stupid people have to make up their own narrative. Right? The whole, I'm a Holocaust denier. Nope. I definitely don't deny that something happened. Do I think it's the narrative that this jackass would have you believe? No. But it's not like he can argue it. You know, there's nothing this dumbass could possibly say that would make me look like I'm wrong. He just said 9 million J people died. No, they didn't. That's not even the claim. This is... The claim is that it's 6 million, and that's only here. Over in Europe, they've lowered that number. But that's how stupid this person is. They don't even know their own bullshit. And it's, you know, he's a Trump supporter, he's an Israel supporter, he's a pedophile supporter, pedo himself. Like, they all just, it's all the same boxes checked over and over and over again. You know, you have to be a dumb piece of shit to support those things, to you know, to go against me. This person won't even tell you what their motivation is. Why do you come here every day and spend hours watching a guy you say you don't like, who calls you names and, you know, uses you for your stupidity? You don't say it. You don't have any reasons. But you prove the point. You know, you prove what it takes to oppose me. You're never going to see somebody that comes on here that opposes me that starts making these great points and people are like, wow, that guy's really smart. You know, the funny part is, you can shut my shit down all you want. It doesn't matter anymore. It's happening. It's happening whether you like it or not. The Goyim are waking up. The Goyim are speaking out all across the fucking world, realizing we've been lied to about everything. Realizing that, what? No, you can get it. Bruh. You know, think about that, man. Think about how, like, they have to know. They have to know. That's why they're so desperately trying to distract us. Can I see your phone for just a second? I want to show you guys two things. So, Trump pushes the chair. Oops. There you go. Here's the picture that tells you everything. That's all you need to see. Not only is Trump pushing his chair, he has the middle chair. I mean, it's happening whether you guys like it or not. We are it's over. We are coming after you. And you're you know, you're gonna fail. Yeah. Mystery. That's weird. Controversial study finds massive city underneath the pyramids.
Do not buy new windows if you live in Michigan. Americans living in zip codes starting with 48 and 49 are being...
Turning to a story that is making headlines around the world, an unprecedented, albeit controversial.
What's controversial about it?
On a mystery that dates back millennia, many millennia. Italian and Scottish researchers, mainly from the University of Pisa, conducted advanced high-frequency radar mapping under Egypt's famous pyramids. They claim to have discovered wells, caverns, and shafts that are more than 2,000 feet underground. If accurate, it changes the face of history as we know it. Here to talk more about it is Dr. Galit Ben Tovel, an Egyptologist and author of the book.
Gee, I wonder what she is.
Hi, Galit. Hi, Emily.
Galit.
So this is very exciting. We've done a
Gee, I wonder why a J is trying to tell us to focus somewhere else. Uh-oh.
But the fact is, this is an interesting scientific study, yet it is controversial. So explain what they discovered and why it's controversial.
Yesterday she was fine. So what they discovered, basically, they sent some pictures coming from a satellite from space, looking at the surface underground, the main pyramid.
From a satellite from space. Oh, yeah? They're using satellites in space to scan the ground.
King of Pharaoh Khufu.
Khufu.
Now, we know back till now that this pyramid, was dated to 2600 BC.
Oh, do we?
And what the archaeologists
we know
to
that?
discover is we have something beneath the soil, beneath the ground of the.
This is a doctor. This is the best person they could find.
I cannot explain because I'm not specializing in this kind of technology.
Okay, so why did they bring you on here then? I cannot explain it. I don't specializing in this type of technology. So then why the fuck are you being interviewed? You goofy J bitch. You goofy J bitch. It's to distract you guys. They're just trying to distract you.
They managed to get some data from the infrastructure that is beneath the soil, beneath the ground. And what they discover is if you want spiral hallways, I don't know how many of them.
She doesn't know how many. Then why again are they interviewing her? This incredible discovery, this incredible story. You're doing the interview. You fly the person out here, I assume. Like, Think about it. They couldn't bring on anyone else who might know, well, how many shafts there are, what type of technology is being used. What the fuck is her expertise if she's here then? What is she here to do?
Lead maybe to an hypothesis, a thesis that maybe we have there an ancient technology.
Wow. Well, people have said
Maybe
this for
we
years.
have an ancient technology. Well, clearly there's an ancient technology. The buildings exist. That's an ancient technology. But to say that there might be these great shafts that go down 2,000 meters and like, this is just ridiculous, especially considering the pyramids were basically rediscovered in like the late 1800s. They've been lost.
For years that the Egyptians, knew something. I mean, we know that the pyramids are said to be aiming toward the Orion Belt. So, we know that
The Orion Belt,
had
gotta
things
throw that in there.
that predated modern man. So, with that, how do they explain
They had
the
things that
AI?
predated modern man. That's what she just said. Yeah, because they're from the past. So yeah, they predate modern man. That makes sense. You fucking idiot.
Renderings, and you're seeing cylinders and Q. It looks like a battery or a generator or some kind of solar energy.
Like an ancient generator.
It looks
But
like
I
an
have to say
ancient
that
generator.
They reconstructed from the data that they collected from the photographs that they had from the satellite from space.
So wait. Did you just say the same thing again? Are you just reiterating those bullet points that you were supposed to memorize? Why are they using this fucking broad if it's not a distraction? Oh, that's what we're saying it is? That's a completely different picture than the one before it. Look at the alien, the UFOs,
With a 3D model with AI and all the newest technology that we have, it doesn't mean that this is exactly what they saw. It means that the AI, the intelligence, reconstructed, okay, what they think they saw.
Oh, so that's so based on all of the available information, the AI systems that they use to, figure all kinds of shit out. It's saying that it's this, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's what it is. From the photographs from the satellite in space. It's 2025, and we are first now using this technology for the first time.
Beneath the soil. But I have to say that the pyramid and the mystery of the pyramid, why they were built, some scholars will say that they were meant to be for tombs, the tombs of the first pharaohs. But many years, I think for the last years, people are starting to doubt that. Whether it was really the purpose of tomb, or maybe the tomb was maybe a secondary use, or maybe not at all. And why is that? Also because the pyramid themselves, not only because they were pointed to the stars, but they were covered, especially the top part of the pyramid was covered with gold.
Really?
Really? You didn't know that?
Solar energy of
So again, this is the best expert they could bring on right now. Why would they be bringing this bitch on? She's a, same thing as always?
Oh, they think she's having a heart attack. Dwayne's crying.
That's terrible.
of today, how we are using the solar energy, to heat and to do many things. It's a whole energy. So maybe the ancient Egyptian, okay, used the same energy. Now,
This is the best person that they could bring? This dumb J broad? Ghislaine, another Ghislaine?
we are willing to think that the ancient civilization were not so primitive, and maybe they knew things that we also are discovering them today, and maybe the history is not a linear history but goes more in how we call it spirals.
It's a spiral.
So maybe this ancient
She knew exactly what she was going to say. She was gonna go. She was making a circle, but instead of saying circle, she said spiral. And the other chick was okay. Yeah, that works out.
It was the ancient Egyptian or even a prior civilization to the ancient Egyptian used the solar energy or a different kind of energy that we are not aware of it today. We have to open this question.
Right. All right, we have 20 seconds. Say quickly, because the meaning of the word pyramid.
Okay, the meaning of the word pyramid in ancient Egyptian means the pillar. Wow. If it's the pillar, when we see the shape of a pyramid, we don't see a pillar. We see a shape of a pyramid. So where's the pillar? So if it was for technology, maybe it was a kind of, if you want, a pillar of light, a pillar of fire, and maybe this is the pillar of fire from the story of Exodus.
Well, of course. There you go. Oh. I tell you guys this all the time. You talk to a J, and within 5 minutes, you'll know they're a J because they bring it up. She had to bring up the story of Exodus. Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? This is just insane, man. This is just fucking insane. Alright, this is crazy. That chick is supposed to be an expert. Get the fuck out of here, man. What does the Bible say about the pyramids? The Bible does not explicitly mention the pyramids of Giza by name. However, it does refer to structures in Egypt, including those built by the Israelites to as storehouses during their enslavement. What kind of bullshit is this? Every time you hear about Israeli slaves or Israeli hostages or it's always like, yeah, he got in trouble for washing his hands in the drinking water and then had to lay in a bed for 2 days with blankets on him. Wait, blankets? Beds? Water? Hand washing water and drinking water? Like what? Like this is, if you open up the books on Israel, you demonize Israel's stupidity. It's just everywhere. Yeah, let's try again. Pedophiles kill yourself. Pedophiles kill.